What's up, everybody? I'm Nathan. This is Mike, and we're here to tell you about the $40,000 Patrick Mahomes purchase that Mike made the other day here at the warehouse, 15 miles north of Arrowhead Stadium, the home of your Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm in here the other day, and I just walked in, and this deal is going down when I walk in. And you all were talking for probably a good half an hour while I was sorting through the dollar box. Can you kind of fill us in on how that deal went down and the whole purchase? The Mahomes was most of it, right?
Most of it,
But
yeah.
then there was more to it. So
yeah.
just kind of tell the story about doing the deal with the gentleman that brought the stuff in.
He just called me out of the blue, got my number off of Google and Facebook, I believe it was. Called in and said, hey, I got some Mahomes and I got some Bobby Witts. Are you interested? I was like, of course, those are the two icons in Kansas City right now in cards. So he came in maybe an hour later and gave a bunch, just started pulling out these amazing cards that, I didn't think. When you say Mahomes and Witt, you can have $10 cards, and but the Mahomes was a big part of the deal.
Yeah.
And we decided to go. We decided on a price. We came together. We were $50 apart on a big deal like that, and went to the bank, did the money transfer, and we're good to go. So came together that quick.
You bought how many cards from this guy?
The graded Mahomes part was about 10 cards.
Okay.
And there was everything in there from. The big one was the XRC Select as a 9.5, the Hollow PSA 10 rated rookie, and several other cards. But those are the big ones.
Yeah, there's some huge cards in there.
For me, they're huge cards.
I think for anybody.
Yeah.
For 99% of people,
right.
like those are huge cards.
Yeah.
And they're exciting. And so, you got the deal done. And we wanted to talk about a little bit about some of these cards. So, like, you've got a Mahomes base prism here. It's the base prism. It's the silver. But they didn't make an actual base without the silver,
That is the base card,
right?
That is his base rookie for that year.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about what you look at? Because this is a raw version.
Right. This is the raw. You definitely want the 50-50 centering, and there's tools out there, if you're brand new to it, there's tools out there that you can lay over this card and make sure they're 50-50 centering. But the key important piece on this card is right here, right above it'd be his right shoulder, there's almost always a dimple. And it depends on how deep that dimple is. I've seen PSA 10s with the dimple, but they were graded before the card was valuable.
Okay.
Like they were graded when the card was $10 and, they didn't scrutinize it as much.
Yeah.
So now with that dimple, you're not going to get a 10 most of the time. I'm not an expert in grading, but I haven't seen. This is what I hear from people, that come in and expert graders and people that are in the business. So that's what to look for. This one it's very, very hard to see on this one. So this one has a chance at it, but this is one that you want the perfect corners on the back because the corners on the back are black, so that's pretty rough. No more dimples anywhere else and special like that, but that's what to look for specifically is right here on the card is there's almost always a dimple.
That's awesome. Thanks, man.
Yep.
Yeah, and then got a couple other cards here. We've got the personal edition Patrick Mahomes. This is a card that most people have never heard of.
Right.
And it's a really awesome story. It's from right here in Kansas City. And I was wondering if maybe you could tell us about the story of this card.
The legend of this card and what they did a newspaper article on, I'm sure you could Google it. These were given to Patrick Mahomes from Panini, and they say it's around 100 of them. and he sent these to Goodwill. Somebody locally found them about between 80 and 100 is the number, and sold half of them to another dealer for pennies, like $800 for like 50 cards. I mean, but it's a super rare card. I mean, there's probably less than 100 out there. I don't even know the pop report on the 9.5s, but they were given to Goodwill, not in penny sleeves or nothing. Like they weren't meant to. They weren't going to be in condition that should be for grading. So these were given to Patrick to sign for friends and stuff like that, and he just gave them to Goodwill. Somebody found them, and now they're. I mean, this card's $3,000 plus. This is probably one of the only cards that Patrick Mahomes held in his hands that's not signed.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
that's such a cool story, and I want one. I want one. I don't have the money for it right now, but you know, maybe if it's here a while down the road, I'll pick it up, because just the rarity of it. You know, not everybody can have this card.
Yeah.
There was only 100 to start with, so that's really cool. Some of the other cool cards that you picked up. So you said the Select XRC, which that came out in 2016, right?
The redemption for it came out in 2016 Select, and they didn't redeem it until the draft, until they made the cards. But when it's graded, they put 2016 on the label.
Yeah.
So they call it XRCs. It throws back to the old baseball, the traded sets and stuff like that. So it actually says 2016 on the label.
If y'all aren't familiar with XRC, so the year before, they'll do an XRC redemption. And so it'll be like QB1 or QB2, or it might be like defensive player 1, defensive player 2, but then you don't know who that player is going to be until the draft. And then after the draft, you can send in the redemptions, and then I don't know how long it takes for them to do them and get them back or anything. But
they want it to be their first card in the NFL uniform, and that's kind of how they do it. So.
Yeah, it's a cool card.
Yeah.
And that one was 8,000?
Yep, 8,500 for the 9.5.
8,500 for the 9.5. And you were thinking if it crossed over, then
the PSA 10's 15,000. And mine had, the one I had and traded off, had 10 surface and 3 9.5. So it was a good candidate to try.
Yeah. Well, Mike, you got any advice for everybody?
My advice would be collect what you like. Collect what you can afford, but collect what you like. I mean, if you buy something that's $10 and it goes down to $5, make sure you still like that card.
Yeah.
You know, if it's $50 and it goes down to $10, make sure you still like that card. That'd be my quick advice.
I think that's great advice. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. Definitely check out all of Mike's information, which will be down in the description. And please come back and visit me again at CardCollex.